And we walk in, and it's Kanye, and it's Diddy. And, you know, a couple of people that we know, men. You know, an executive that worked with Kanye, Kanye's engineer, and Kanye's cousin. And we walk in, and we're like, okay, cool. So they're coming towards me, and I'm like, okay, this is fucked. I don't know where my manager is. I don't know where anyone is. And they're coming towards me more, and they're trying to like take my clothes off.
You've heard the rumors that the music industry is a dark place, but the truth is far more twisted than you could imagine. Keep watching until the end, because today we will cover not one but two Diddy-related cases. A former viral artist, Nikyee Heaton, just revealed that in a studio party allegedly hosted by Diddy and Ye, she and her manager were given spiked drinks, and there was an attempted sexual assault. Let's get into a terrifying experience that would leave you shaken. Nikyee Heaton burst into the music scene at just 18 years old, quickly making a name for herself through viral covers and her unique style.
I'm like, hey, what's up? Hello. You see your pretty ass soon as you stepped in a toe.
Imagine being barely an adult, suddenly thrown into the limelight with rap legends knocking on your door. It sounds like a dream, right? Nikyee revealed in her Instagram live session in June 2024 that it soon became a nightmare that would end her music career. At just 19, she and her manager Lauren Picciota found themselves being contacted by some of the biggest names in the game. One night, they received a call from Kanye's team saying that he wanted her in the studio. To her, this was the opportunity of a lifetime. So of course she agreed to it. She went for several work sessions with Kanye, but Nicky's gut told her something was off, because apparently every time they would go to the studio, he would pull out his laptop, which had bookmarks of all of their social media pages and their pictures saved. He basically stalked Nikyee and her manager online before making the call to her. The last time she ever went for a studio session with Kanye was one where Diddy himself would be present.
All these ladies there wearing their club gear, and Kanye and Diddy are already like out of their mind, just like completely up. Drunk, but probably something else.
When Nikyee and her manager arrived, it wasn't the professional vibe they were expecting. Instead of a creative atmosphere, they were met with a weird scene. There were 9 women dressed for the club, hanging out in the studio, Kanye, Diddy, and some other men. These weren't producers or fellow artists. These women were clearly there for other reasons. It looked like a party rather than a recording session. Diddy and Kanye were already clearly high and were just having fun with the girls. It was immediately clear to Nikyee that something wasn't right, but she decided to play it cool, because working with both Kanye and Diddy was a big opportunity. Then things start getting really weird. Both Diddy and Kanye handed drinks to Nikyee and her manager. Instead of getting on with what they were doing, the two watched them closely to see if they would take the drinks.
And Diddy hands me a drink, Kanye hands Lauren a drink, and we're like, that's weird. Why are they serving us?
Nikyee, already feeling off about the whole situation, didn't want to be rude, so she held the drink without taking a sip of it. The thing is, Nikyee didn't like taking alcohol, and this one was cranberry flavored, which she particularly found to be gross, so she didn't take it. But because Kanye was watching her, she started pretending to sip. This made both Kanye and Diddy relax, and that's when she could tell that there was something in the drink. Why would they just calm down when they confirmed that she had taken a sip? At this point, she knew that she had to warn her manager, but it was too late, because Lauren, someone known for being reserved and socially anxious, took a couple of sips. Instantly, she started acting out of character, laughing loudly and making jokes with everyone. Lauren even went as far as telling the 9 women to leave the room, leaving her, Nikyee, and the men, Kanye, Diddy, an executive, an engineer, and Kanye's cousin, alone in the studio. To make things worse, Lauren left the room for a bathroom break, leaving just Nikyee and the men. This is the part that many internet users found strange. Some people believe that Lauren may have set Nikyee up because she told the other women to leave and then left herself to go to the bathroom, leaving Nikyee with only men in the room. This is only speculation, and Nikyee has not mentioned that she thinks Lauren set her up. In fact, Lauren has pressed charges against Kanye, but we'll get into that later, so keep watching.
Kanye and Diddy have realized that I'm the only girl in the room. And they're like out of their minds. And they start coming towards me, and they're like, don't you want to take your clothes off? Like, it's so hot in here. And I'm like, no, fine.
As soon as the men realized Nikyee was the only woman left, They began making inappropriate comments, suggesting that she take off her clothes because it was so hot in the studio. Both Kanye and Diddy, clearly high on something, started closing in on her until her back was against the door. Nikyee, trying to play it off, laughed it off at first, hoping it was just a joke, but it wasn't. The situation escalated quickly. Both Diddy and Kanye started pawing at her, trying to remove her clothing. Nikyee was trapped, and when she looked around, her silent pleas for help were ignored by the producer and the sound engineer. The other men in the room looked away, texting on their phones, completely ignoring what was happening. Nikyee described this moment as one of the most haunting parts of the ordeal. Not the assault itself, but the sheer indifference from the people who could have stopped it. She even mouthed the word help to one of the executives, but he looked away. At that moment, she knew she was on her own. With her back against the wall, Nikyee prayed for help, unsure of what to do, and then something clicked. The only way out was forward. Instead of backing away, she lunged toward both Kanye and Diddy. This unexpected move threw them off balance just long enough for her to grab the door handle and slip out. She bolted from the room and hid in a dark, empty studio nearby. For 20 minutes, she sat there, shaken, crying, and trying to process what had just happened. She texted her manager frantically but got no response. This part of the story was vague because she did not exactly mention what happened when Lauren went back to the studio, but she said that she eventually managed to get them out of the building and into an Uber. Lauren, having been could not remember what happened, but Nikyee did. Nikyee is currently 29 years old and has pretty much left the music industry because of this incident. She was on her way to becoming a global star who already had millions of fans, but after seeing how weird the industry could be, she decided to pursue music in a much smaller way. This whole experience is similar to what many of Diddy's victims have described. It seems like there's a type that these powerful musicians go after. If you're an upcoming artist, they would lure you with promises of fame and opportunities, then try to take advantage of your passion for music. Diddy is currently facing charges assault and trafficking. But what's shocking is that in this case, Kanye was allegedly very much involved as well. This goes to show that Diddy did not commit his alleged crimes alone. He had friends who partied with him, and these friends are just as guilty. 10 years ago, Kanye and Diddy were as thick as thieves, and Diddy was one of the only big names in the showbiz elite who defended Kanye in previous times of controversy. At the height of their friendship, he said that the star had changed my life with his music, while Kanye returned a compliment in 2022 when he declared that Diddy has inspired so many of my life choices, even suggesting that he'd influenced him to marry ex-wife Kim Kardashian.
The other night, I go to the Kanye West concert. Concert changed my life. I ain't gonna lie, I was so impressed and inspired. It was beautiful, man. And I fell in love with hip hop again. And I want to just say thank you, Kanye. It's important that people know that you did your thing and you're doing your thing.
He inspires so many of my choices, so many of my life choices, my wife choices.
This all changed in October 2022 after Diddy took offense at Kanye bringing out his infamous White Lives Matter t-shirts. He called the shirt tone deaf, and the two got into a publicized fight over text messages. Kanye then went on shows to say F Diddy and called him fake.
Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these all you fake hard hold on. Okay. All you fake hard you.
Now the two are being tied together in a lawsuit, and the person pressing charges will shock you.
An OnlyFans model who's suing rap artist Kanye West now says that when she was working as his assistant, he took her to a party with Sean Diddy Combs where she was allegedly assaulted.
Remember Nicki's former manager Lauren Pisciata? She's the one who sued Kanye in June 2024 for harassment, wrongful termination, and unpaid wages. Then in October, she amended the lawsuit accusing him of assaulting her during a recording session co-hosted by Sean Diddy Combs. It turns out that the day Nikyee escaped, Lauren had a worse experience when she went back to the studio. For some reason, after that studio session back in 2014, Lauren started working for Kanye as his former assistant between 2021 and 2022. Before she started working for him, Kanye forced her to cancel her OnlyFans account and asked her to be godlike while she was employed by him. Her OnlyFans was very successful, bringing in around $1 million per year, and Kanye claimed that he would compensate her by paying the same yearly fee, effectively making her financially dependent on him. When she started working for him, she experienced several instances of SA, and he repeatedly tried to manipulate her into from explicit texts and videos to requests for Lauren to find women for Kanye and his wife, Bianca Censori, to sleep with. The allegations paint a picture of Kanye basically being horrible to her. She also alleges that Kanye once locked her in a bedroom in front of her until he fell asleep. He also sent her lewd texts and performed acts while on the phone with her. After enduring all of this harassment, Kanye eventually fired her and refused to pay her the $3 million severance fee they had previously agreed on. After the lawsuit in June, Lauren had a deep reflection and was able to recall what happened to her all those years ago. She realized that she had been allegedly assaulted by him in that recording studio. After she woke up the next morning, she had no memory of the events that took place, so she later confronted Kanye, who allegedly admitted that they had hooked up during the session. He even dismissed her memory loss by saying, "Women love to say they don't remember." For years, Lauren believed she had been and humiliated, but blocked it from her memory. In the lawsuit, Lauren mentioned that she could not stomach the fact that she worked for the man who had assaulted her against her will while she was who then successfully lured her back into his orbit by way of a job opportunity to assault her all over again. What did Kanye's team do about this? They accused her of blackmail on fabricating the entire story for financial gain. They also claimed that she was unqualified for her job and demanded an unreasonable salary of $4 million per year. But let's remember that Kanye asked her to quit her OnlyFans career to work for him. So it's not a shocker that she demanded a high salary that matched what she may have made if she continued being an OnlyFans model. Lauren has not changed her story. She still says that she was constantly abused by Kanye and it has left her with lasting psychological trauma. Let's be real. Kanye West and Diddy's friendship makes all the sense in the world, and not in a good way. These two aren't just music legends, they've allegedly been partners in crime when it comes to some seriously dark behavior. From sketchy studio sessions to drinks, it's like they were a match made in scandal heaven. Honestly, their friendship is a whole new level of bro code. The way they allegedly preyed on women, used their power to silence others, and treated the industry like their personal playground is disturbingly similar. Nikyee Heaton's near escape from a studio session turned nightmare, and Lauren P. Shorter's horrifying experiences with Kanye are just the tip of the iceberg. These women's stories are similar to the ones Diddy's victims are telling. It's almost as if these two were taking notes from each other. Kanye might have called Diddy a fake friend, but at this point, it seems like they were both playing the same game. But don't take it from us, this is about to blow up even more, and when it does, who knows which other A-listers will be dragged into the mess. Do you think Kanye and Diddy's fallout was more than just a disagreement over t-shirts? Could their shady behaviors be connected behind the scenes? And honestly, how deep do you think this power abuse goes in the music industry? Drop your comments below and let's get into it.